Hey, what's good guys, and welcome back to another Brimstone lineup guide in Valorant. This time round, we're going to be looking at Brimstone's best lineups on Icebox, specifically focusing on his Incendiary, so let's jump right in. Knowing Brimstone's lineups really will take your gameplay to the next level, especially on Icebox. Brimstone can utilise the small nature and tight corners of Icebox to take advantage of the enemy team. There's a reason Brimstone has been a cornerstone among the controllers in Valorant, and these lineups will teach you why. Starting with attacking side lineups, we'll begin over on A site. As a post-plant lineup, this lineup will allow you to safely defend the default plant position from just below A nest. Brimstone can easily play post-plant situations safely if he has his Incendiary and Orbital Strike ultimate ability active. Stand on the area below A nest and back yourself up against the line on the right hand side of A ramp wall. Watch us if you're struggling. You want to line up your left click fire icon on your HUD with just below the roof trim of the A nest on A site and fire. The Incendiary will be fired over A pipes and land perfectly by the green box on A site. Moving on to the second lineup in this video, we have an Incendiary landing in the same place, but this time from A belt. Stand against the wall of the right hand entrance to A belt. You want to locate the roofing trim directly in front of you, then aim at the gap between the trim and the right hand wall of A nest. This lineup will not only cover the default plant position, similar to last time, but the AoE will also spread to the rope, preventing enemies from getting into the nest. Watch out for flanking enemy agents, however, as you can be exposed to gunfire from mid-blue or mid-garage. Ever since Icebox got a rework, there's been a massive spike in esports teams planting out in the open on A site. It's because planting in this choke point is very easy to contest any defuse. A Sage Barrier Orb helps, but is possible without. Any utility helps defend this plant, such as Killjoy's Swarmbot or Viper's Poison Cloud, but Brimstone's Incendiary works just as well. Align yourself with the line we mentioned in the first lineup, just by the wall of A ramp. To execute this one, again you need to be lined up with this line on the wall below A nest. Aim at the corner where the roof light and A nest connect and fire. This next Incendiary lineup will land in the defender side A nest on A site, meaning that if you plant there, you can easily prevent diffusers. A Sage Barrier Orb is also very good at blocking off the spike in combination with this lineup. This is also very good for getting enemy agents out of there when you're trying to initially push onto A site. Stand on the cross in the middle of the floor where the 4 tiles connect near the aforementioned wall line. Aim just in the corner where B pipes connect vertically and horizontal, then fire. Moving over to B site, but continuing with attacking lineups, our first will be a post-plant Incendiary lineup. This lineup will cover the new and improved default plant position. You want to stand against the new doorway in B garage. Aim at the mountains in the distance, specifically the end of the grey mountain in the middle of the 2 white snow-covered ones. After firing, the Incendiary will bounce off of B yellow and land perfectly on the default plant position. Make sure to communicate where to plant with your team though. You'll be very safe by B garage and can even get the jump on rotating enemies. Without having to move that far from the previous lineup, you want to walk just down to B Cubby from B green. Stand in the corner as we have, then take aim at the corner where the 2 crane sides connect above. Be careful of the enemy team pushing B yellow however, as you can be somewhat exposed. The Incendiary will land at the bottom of the rope on B nest, blocking off the whole entryway from B orange. It will also cover the corner directly underneath B nest, so if you want to force enemy agents out, this is the way to go. If Icebox is your favourite map, or if it is the map you struggle on the most, you'll want to know lineups for other agents on Icebox. We have full, comprehensive videos on Viper, Raze, KO, Sova, Killjoy, Phoenix, and Fade Icebox lineups on our channel too. Moving over to defensive side lineups of Brimstone on Icebox, we'll go back to A site. This lineup will prevent enemy attackers from planting on the default plant position. The lineup is fired from the corner by the entrance to A screens, and you want to look up at the ceiling and locate where the 4 lines meet as a cross and fire. This lineup is crucially used when the enemy team are pushing onto A site, to massively slow down a plant or force the enemies to change strategy. This means you may mess up post-plant lineups of enemy players. We recommend holding mid-boiler as Brimstone and then rotating if need be. Alternatively, if you are rotating around through A rafters, you can use his pre-plant lineup to do the same thing. This lineup will also land on the default plant position. Stand halfway up the stairs, headed to A rafters and fire just above the dark grey line on the back wall. This lineup will need to be performed quickly and efficiently, so make sure to practice first. Before we get into defending B site with Brimstone, like the video and subscribe to TGG if you haven't already, and let us know what your favourite lineup has been so far. Let's get back to it. Moving over to defending B site, the Incendiary's lineup will stop enemy plants whilst you're rotating. This is one of the lineups you can use to stop the plant on B site as you rotate from A. Stand in the corner by the box on B snow pile, and aim the peak of the HUD Incendiary icon at the top of the open door on the green container hanging from the crane. Your Incendiary will actually bounce off of the green container and land on the default plant position. If you want to look like a professional Brimstone player, this is the way to go. For our final lineup of the video, and if you still think you can look cooler, use this lineup. It'll block off the entryway from B orange and it will bounce off the top. This is the ideal lineup for buying time when defending B site. Stand against the line in the middle of the mid blue container and then turn around. You can see the smallest tip of the crane just above the dark blue drape covering multiple containers. Aim the top dot of your sky smoke icon on your HUD at the crane and fire. The incendiary will bounce off of B orange and land perfectly in the choke point. From us that is all, but for now we have other lineup guides for Brimstone for every map in Valorant. These include Haven, Bind, Fracture, Ascent, Breeze and Split, meaning you have no excuse to not learn your lineups. Catch you next time.